Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we'll be adding a data model to our project. So if you haven't already committed our last video, go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and show you what I've done so far. So I did connected image view to code, was my commit statement, and then I created a new branch called add data model. So I've gone through how to do this plenty of times with my other videos, and I believe you guys can handle it. So I just wanted to let you know where I was and what my branch name was in order to get started. All right, and also save some time. All right, so really quickly though, I wanted to do some cleanup in order to prep for our data model. So the first thing I want to do actually is remove the button, the set idea, title, and content. This was just kind of a test type of deal, and there's no need for it right now. So let's go ahead and delete that. I'm just going to hit the delete button. So now it's gone. It's out of there. And then let's go to our view controller because we actually have to clean up this as well. So we do have our outlets, and these outlets are still valid, but we're going to go ahead and remove this action. And as you notice, because I deleted the button in the main storyboard, it has deleted the connection to this IB action. So since it's not connected anymore, we can just easily select it and delete it. Okay, so we've deleted that. So the next thing we need to do is save. Go ahead and make sure you save the change, is to go to main storyboard. I noticed that the spacing here is not very good at all. And there's a really quick fix. If you go to the stack view, here we can actually change the spacing, and I'm going to change it to 8, and it should space it out really nice and neatly, which it does. So now it looks a lot better than what it was before. Alright, so we've done that. So the next thing I need to do is work on the data model. So let's go ahead and create a new file. So really all I do is select, right click, and click new file. Make sure you have iOS selected, and then the Swift file, and then hit next. Let's give our file a name. This is going to be idea because that is going to be the name of our data model. The only target we need is the main one. Make sure that the tests are not selected and hit next. Alright, so now we have our new file. I like to move things around so make sure like all my Swift files are together and everything. So literally all I did was hold down and drag up. Alright, so here we need to change some of our code. So let's change the import statement from Foundation to UIKit, like so. Because we don't need Foundation, we actually need UIKit because this is going to be for our iPhone, so it's for the UI, correct? Alright, so now we need to add a class, and I just want to make this extremely clear. I'm not going to, go into deep detail about how to create classes or any of that at all. I've done it in prior videos. You can definitely go back to my Swift videos that I've done about classes and about initialization and all that jazz. It'll be just a waste of time for me to go through it right now. So if this is complete mud to you, like it makes absolutely no sense, please stop this video and go back and study that. It is a little difficult to wrap your mind around, and because I'm just building this app, I'm not going to take my time to actually explain it here. So again, if this means absolutely nothing to you and it's complete French or Japanese to you, or you just don't understand it, definitely stop the video, study a little bit on it, practice on Playground, and then come back and it'll hopefully make more sense to you. Alright, so let's get back to it. So my class is going to be idea. Again, I'm using a noun to describe what the data model is. Then the next thing I'm going to do is bring in my properties. So let's do mark properties. And then I'm also going to do initialization as well. So I'm going to do mark initialization. All right, so those are the two things I need to hit. So my property is looking at our main view controller here, or our storyboard. We see we have to have a link between the name label and the notes and the image view. So I believe I need three properties for that. So actually I know I need 3 properties for that. So the first one's going to be the name of the idea. So I'm just going to do name, and it's going to be a string. And this is going to be required. I think it's absolutely doesn't make any sense not to have name required. And then the next thing is going to be notes. And this is also going to be a string. I'm going to make this a requirement too, because the name is only supposed to be something short and sweet. It's just basically a title. And then the notes should explain and should expound on what the idea is and have any references or anything like that. So I'm going to make it required. And then the third one is the image. Now I'm not going to make this required because I feel like there'd be some instances where an image would be impactful for an idea, but in some cases it might not make sense to actually have an image. So I'm not going to require the user to have an image. Unless they really needed to, and it would be, spur them into action to go forward with the idea or spark a reminder of what they were trying to accomplish. So it's going to be optional. So now let's begin with initialization. We do init, and we bring in the property name and its type. So name, string, notes, also string. Image is UI image, optional. All right, curly brackets, and let's do the rest. So self name equals name, self notes equals notes, and self image equals image. Okay, so there we go. I've got everything I needed. So now because I have the name and the notes as not optional, I need to ensure that before it actually initializes, if the notes and the name don't actually contain any data, that it doesn't initialize, because it's going to be a horrible, ridiculous error. So I am going to create an if statement here to ensure that if name or notes is empty, that it doesn't initialize, because that would be bad. So actually let me create some space here. So I'm going to do if name is empty, so it's going to return a bool, true or false, or notes is empty, then I want to do something. In this case, what I wanted to do is return nil for either. Okay, so there we go. And if this doesn't make any sense, you can definitely create notes. It's basically saying this should make initialization fail if either name or notes are empty. Okay, so I got this wonderful error message. What does this say? Oh, it says only failable initializer can return nil. So, okay, yes, I do want to fix that. I do want it to be failable. So I got to add that question mark. Okay, so I've gotten this done, which is great. So the next thing I need to do is actually ensure that when things are entered in, that this actually works. So I'm going to do a test on my model. So in my next video, I'll go ahead and do that. Make sure that you understand classes. If you don't know, how I did this or why I did this, definitely go back and study the documentation, or go back to the videos that I have where I discuss initialization and dealing with classes. Again, if this video has helped you at all, just give it a thumbs up. Till next time, my friends, keep calm and code on.